Before I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, I was very active, and I was, still fairly young, but I had energy to kill. I ran all day. I worked. I did what every other person does. I maintained a household, took care of a family, my, husband and stuff, and could go many hours a day and accomplish anything I wanted to. At the age of 39, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and I remember the day that I went to see the neurologist, how she said the good news, bad news thing, and the bad news was that I had Parkinson's, but the good news was I wouldn't die from it. So to her that was good and bad, but to me it was totally bad. And I remember leaving, she said, make an appointment for your next visit, and on the way out I ran out because I was so upset. Years went by and I tried to function with it, medication, of course, you have to be on medication forever, and try to adjust, but then as I got older and symptoms got worse and things got more painful or inconvenient or all that kind of stuff, I ran into someone who ran into you, in fact, Linda, who did hypnosis, who at the time I knew of it because I had a friend who did that for migraines, and I saw how well it worked for him, but I could never put myself in his shoes because I always thought it was kind of like, oh, I don't know how that really works. So I thought, well, I got nothing to lose than to try it, so you volunteered to help me with it, so I said, well, why not? So let's give that a shot. And I remember the first day going down your laneway here, and I remember thinking, geez, I feel different today. I feel like normal, I could feel, it almost was right away, and I thought, I feel like I've had a shot of something when I left that place. And I kept it up, and we met several times after that, and it didn't take, I found, that many sessions to get me to the point that I'm at. And that was the thing that amazed me most.
So to my surprise, 3 hours after you got home that day, March the 20th, I got an email from you. And may I quote, "Coming home, I felt my gait was normal and already speedy. Normally, when entering the house, I need a boost of energy just to get my leg onto the first landing. I came upon it with no difficulty. I then entered the door effortlessly, all in one step, as if I was stepping over an ocean. I also had a sense of joy in feeling such relaxation. My pain was down from a 9 out of 10 to a 2, and I was able already to get out of my chair much easier." You remember writing that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What were your symptoms like last year when we started?
Well, getting out of a chair was an issue for me with Parkinson's because I had such difficulty in just trying to, either one hand, two hands, or both hands. It just didn't work, and it was, rock and rock and rock, and to the point where I'd sit there and say, oh God, am I ever going to get up? And it's embarrassing in public. For me anyways, I found it embarrassing. I've overcome those things now, and if people don't really stare at people that are handicapped, I find. And prior to that, I got out of a chair like anybody else. You don't even think about it. I didn't even need the support of the hands to get up, but now, I need that support, but I'm able to get up at least. That's the thing, the major thing, and that's one of my biggest thrills, to be able to get out of the chair.
Then you listened to your CDs as often as you could, and I saw you again for your next session about 10 days later, on April 1st. And at that time, you requested that I do a pain session for you because you had severe pain in your left groin. But when I asked you to assess your pain on a scale of 0 to 10, you told me at times it was 20 over 10. Would you talk about that pain?
Yeah, it's a pain that when I sat down, it was very uncomfortable, and it was there all the time. It was a burning, aching, pinching sore that I just couldn't shake. No matter how I sat, I'd sit sideways, frontwards, every direction, get up, get down. It didn't matter what I did, it just was there 24/7, and I had it for a long time, and it was very painful. I used to have a lot of Charlie horses, and several per day, to the point of severe pain, and especially if the upper leg, I'd get it there, it would be very painful. And I tried to deal with it, but it was something that you just can't control. So I decided, when Linda was trying to help me with helping me with hypnosis, I thought we'd try something about the leg pain, because I wanted to get rid of that, because it's sore. I couldn't get into a boot because the back of the boot would make my leg Charlie horse, and if I got into a boot, trying to get the boot off, then the Charlie horse again. It didn't matter what I did and tried, it never worked. So Linda helped me into trying to get rid of the pain in the legs, which I noticed almost immediately, because I was able to get on my bed and put both legs up at the same time without getting a Charlie horse, which to me is a bonus, and just putting your foot up on an ottoman, I was never able to do that. And even just last night, I put both feet up. I don't jump on the ottoman as I get in there, but I do take my time putting it up, but at least I'm able to do it. And when my leg touches it, it doesn't Charlie horse. So I attribute that directly to the hypnosis portion of it. I shook quite a bit in my left hand, in fact my whole left side, my foot as well, and right into the end of my toes. And I had a sore back because my posture was sliding to the right quite a bit. People don't understand that when you have Parkinson's and you're shaking all day, it's tiresome. Everybody thinks you go like this and stop it. It just doesn't stop on a dime. Your brain doesn't work the same with your body. It's not connecting, So you just can't stop it when you want. So if you're into a shaking session, you're going to shake until something kicks in, or the hypnosis, the medication, or relaxation. And of course it goes with your mood. So if somebody gets in your way that you're not too happy about, it'll agitate you and stuff like that. So the calmer you are, the more your environment's quieter, the better, the less stress you have. All those things account for also a factor into having peace of mind.
Let me read another testimonial that you wrote after this session, and I quote, "I came out of the session happy. I'm normally happy, but I had a sense of an overdose of happy. I had a rush of childhood go over me and felt an urge to skip, but my shoes weren't right, so I didn't for now."
Mm-hmm. During my episodes with hypnosis, I learned something called trigger, and associated with also a combination of that with a color red. So I tried that to see how that would work, and one day I was in traffic and I was getting a bit agitated, and it was starting to shake on this side and shake on there, and I was starting to think, oh my God, I might have to pull over because I'm going to give a little shaking session here. But all of a sudden I thought, I'm going to do the trigger, which is, pinching your finger, and the color red, which makes it the red lights. The back of the cars are red, and I was amazed at how almost instantly it stopped. It was incredible, and my arm relaxed. I could feel the heat going through the left side of me and just relaxing, and I was able to get home at least in a safe manner. And I find now that the trigger, I don't even need to pinch my fingers anymore. I just look at the color red, and I seem to associate the relaxation with the red. There's a day I was talking to somebody, and I felt a bit as if I was starting to shake, and I know she had some tomatoes on her window ledge. And I thought, and it seems I always focus on anything that's red in the house, and my eyes went right for the tomatoes, and it's like all of a sudden a relaxation came over me. So I find the red really works. It's a good choice for color because, you pretty well have that everywhere and anywhere. So it's working great for me anyways, and I don't really ever even feel I need to do the pinch to go with it because I've conditioned myself with the color red.
What about your typing? What's it like?
Oh, my typing's gone back to Speedy Gonzales now. I was also a touch typist where you could talk, I could keep up with you and type. So over the years that diminished quite a bit because the problem with that is your fingers sort of freeze on the keyboard, and then you get a lot of E's, a lot of A's, repetitive letters, and it makes it to the point where it's so uncomfortable to type. And also because I had to sit to be able to do that, and sitting down was uncomfortable for me at that point as well. So, and people who have Parkinson's, their penmanship does go down to the point where a lot of people have stamps made with their signature now because they can't even sign their name. And I'm at the point where I can write, but I can't read what I write. And neither can anybody else, so it's like a big scribble. It starts off, big, and then it gets down, and it's on a crooked, it's up, it's down. So over the years, I learned to try to type everything, but if I can't type it, and I can't write it, then I'm in trouble, because then there's no other way for me to try to document it, my appointments or whatever. So I did the hypnosis, and Linda tried to help me with that, and it worked fabulous. It was incredible. So now I don't write anything, and I type everything. It doesn't matter what it is, I type everything, because at least I can type now. And I like sitting in a room and just hearing click, 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 speed of light, and I love hearing that, because it reminds me of my first job I had was in a typing pool, and I used to type, and I was the speediest one there, so it was always, heavy clicking going on. And in fact, I was at the library yesterday typing, and I remember hearing that, and I thought it reminded me of way back when I was normal, so to speak, So it gives me all these things that I used to like, and made me feel normal, and I feel more normal every day. In summary, I believe that hypnosis has helped me tremendously, because I've noticed many people have commented on especially the differences in me, and that's my posture and my gait and my shaking and stuff, and getting out of the chair especially. That everybody has noticed it, including myself, and I am so thrilled to have a lot of these factors that have changed, because it makes my life simpler. If I can get, diminish the feeling that I have from these symptoms, which are so uncomfortable. If I just find peace of mind and tranquility and happiness, and just getting up, there's so many days I get up and I honestly say, oh yeah, I have Parkinson's, because I forget I have it. There's some days I feel normal, and I think, boy, I wish they could find a cure and I could feel back to normal like that, because it's that obvious. I found the hypnosis really helped, and I'm a firm believer in it, and I certainly would recommend it to anybody, because you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's, such a simple thing to do. Just listen to your tapes every day and condition yourself to want that peace of mind. And I think everybody who has Parkinson's would love to have that, because, it's not a nice disease to have, because it's, 24/7, and it's permanent. There's no cure for it. So anything that'll help, it'll make a big difference.